delivering on a common future, connecting, innovating, and transforming. By career, I'm an IP lawyer. So for me, when we talk about creativity and innovation, it simply means intellectual property rights. But clearly, that's not what we're going to talk about today. This is the theme for this entire year. We also have the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Rwanda and Kigali in June of this year. And the idea is that it's not just post-Brexit. It's a new world. There are new challenges. We're talking about things like artificial intelligence, where portions of this country don't even have access to electricity. So the world is changing really rapidly. And as an officer of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, as a trustee of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, it is my job here to talk about some of the things that we are doing as Pakistan. Pakistan was very lucky. We won an election last year in Kampala in Uganda, and we have been honored with the seat of the chair of the Commonwealth Women Parliamentarians. So the next 3 years, Pakistan and the Office of the Honourable Speaker of the National Assembly, we have one job ahead of us, to unite the entire Commonwealth women parliamentarians, and there are differences. We come from different regions, we come from different languages, different races. The only thing that I feel unites us is our common values. And our values are always in danger of being plucked from us, so we must safeguard them carefully. What I do for the Commonwealth as chair of women parliamentarians in the National Assembly of Pakistan is tripartite in some sense. Number one, we reach out to the entire region that forms the Commonwealth. So we're in Africa, we're in Australia, we're in the Pacific, we're in the UK, and we're struggling to deal with the old problems and at the same time usher in new ways, in particular for women parliamentarians, to deal with their constituencies and new problems. At the CHOGM in Rwanda, we're going to be talking, in fact, the Commonwealth Women Parliamentarians is co-hosting the Women's Forum. So we'll talk about climate change and women, and we'll talk about women and leadership. Another thing that Commonwealth has done in the last 6 months is that we've reached out to organizations such as the World Economic Forum, UN Women, UNESCO, the Global Women's Forum, and the reason we do that is the following. We don't have enough connectivity within the Commonwealth. We don't talk to each other. And there's a lot of things that could be copy-pasted from each other's jurisdictions without too much work. Issues such as harassment, financial inclusivity, digital policy, the gender pay gap. So there's many things which we look forward to working with the Commonwealth. And finally, perhaps, before I forget, I was supposed to welcome His Excellency of the Ambassador, the Chargé d'Affaires of the Maldives. We welcome them back into the Commonwealth, along with the Gambia in June. So that's a good day for the Commonwealth. At the end, I would just like to re-emphasize that whatever we do on the Commonwealth values of good governance and democracy, it should be more than lip service. I know for sure that the National Assembly of Pakistan is heavily engaged, but I think it's time we brought in the provincial assemblies. We know that PIPS is working very hard, sir, but perhaps we need to work harder. The provinces need to be engaged, and we don't just make speeches here, lovely as they may be. We work on our values that we cherish. Thank you all so much.
A pleasure, a privilege to be here today. I have never been in a Commonwealth Day before, although I was a guest of the Honourable Speaker of the House of Commons officially for 10 days, way back. So I have a nodding acquaintance with the way that the House of Commons works, and the mother of all parliaments that used to be called, I don't know if it still is the UK House of Commons, which actually gives the content, the flavor to the 54 nation states which today comprise the Commonwealth. I was going through the history of how the British Empire evolved, because ultimately most of these countries, barring 2 or 3, have been directly ruled by the British at some stage of their existence as nation states. We in Pakistan, right from the start, because under the leadership of Qaeda Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, we attained our independence, our sovereignty, our autonomy to improve the standard of living of the people who were the Muslim majority areas of the British subcontinent, which configured into the state of Pakistan. And before coming to a gathering like today, I always go through the Qaid's own statements, because he was a person who was really completely engaged with as a barrister of Britain, and he has, as you know, from 1931 to 34, was actually practicing law in Britain. So he was more familiar with British traditions, British customs, and what is now known as common law. What is that binds the Commonwealth as a nation other than its history is really, I would say, the English language and common law. Because most of the countries which now configure the Commonwealth, English as a medium of usage is used in most of their courts, in many of their official treaties, even most of the government language. Although our national language is, of course, held equally at par. But when we engaged in, and post 1945, because of the ascendancy of the United States as the superpower, some in England would say that's the American language, not the British, but they have a great overlap. But in that sense, the Commonwealth has gone through, I think, a kind of a evolutionary process which is different to most. Please. The way the world has evolved and how the superpowers between 1945 and 1991, there were two superpowers, the Soviet Union and the United States. Where was the Commonwealth? Actually, the Commonwealth came 1949 officially as a body, as an organization, and it was built around the United Kingdom. But the United Kingdom itself had economically become much weaker post-World War II, and one of the reasons why countries like us perhaps became independent and sovereign very early on from 1947 on, because physically, economically and politically it would have become difficult for the British Raj to have kept these colonies subservient to themselves. And this was one of the reasons where Franklin Delaware Roosevelt, when Sir Winston Churchill used to go and negotiate with him about coming on board in World War II, he would always say, we were a colony under you before 1776, and one of those 3 or 4 elements that FDR negotiated with Winston Churchill at that time was that they will come out of their colonial status and become independent, which they did. However, the way it has evolved, the Commonwealth, the Honorable Shandana Sahiba, who I think we should be proud of, having been elected at this stage of her political career to lead the caucus of the British Commonwealth, the Commonwealth Women's Parliamentarian Caucus, is a great, I think, tribute to Pakistan in general and to her in particular. We in Pakistan today are evolving at a stage where, when we look at the Honorable Executive Director of PIPS, just mentioned those 7 or 8 elements which configure on the Commonwealth coming together: economic development, education, above all perhaps human rights, fundamental rights. And this is an area where I think the Commonwealth as such has been taking up this issue. For instance, South Africa, when it had apartheid, it went out of the Commonwealth because of the way they triggered off separation of whites and non-whites. Similarly, I feel, although it's a little bit of a, because that's the task I have today in front of me, is the way how the Kashmiris, the citizens of Kashmir, have undergone the kind of torture, tyranny that has been imposed upon them. I don't want to go into the politics, you're very familiar with it, but the United Nations Security Resolutions still stand, and it has been proved when twice, 16th of August last year, 15th of January this year, the UN Security Council did evolve. And I think the United Nations Human Rights Council, written those two reports in June 2018, July 2019, has in fact zeroed in on the grave injustices which have been committed in Kashmir. And now that mindset we see in what is happening in India today. I don't want to dwell on it too much on a Commonwealth Day, but this is the background in this emerging subcontinent of India, South Asia. Today, Commonwealth has nearly 2.4 billion of the 7.2 billion people in the world. 1/3 of the citizens of the world are members of the Commonwealth. It's very large. But how much impact has it worldwide? The impact is of the total GDP of the world, the Commonwealth is generating approximately $10 to $11 trillion, which comes to about 15% of the GDP of the world. The domination is still with North America, it's still with the European Union, it is still with Japan, and now China has emerged as a great power. So the Commonwealth as such, strung out as it is in different parts of the geographic world, from Australasia, way back up to Canada, many parts of Africa, many parts of South Asia, we have played a very major role. Latin America doesn't, I don't think, is a country except in the former West Indies, which are part of the Commonwealth. But today, the Commonwealth could, because the way it was built up and the determining norm, value system, as my colleague here said, was rule of law. And rule of law, because there are two major systems other than the Islamic system of rule of law, basically, is the Napoleonic Code in the European Union. Wherever the French went, wherever the Continental went, there is the Napoleonic Code. And then there is common law, which has evolved under the British system. We have gone with the common law, as has India, as has Sri Lanka, as has Bangladesh. And as we have seen, that by and large, we have tried to give our people a sense of freedom, a sense of justice. However, not always in the most perfect form, because we have not really been able to, in 72 years of our history, been able to attain the dream of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, which was that unless and until we become competitive in the world, unless we become economically self-sufficient in ways, we had all the ingredients. We had the population, we had a very fertile country agriculturally. What we failed to really evolve were competitive global educational institutions. And the quality of education and health facilities for the common citizen in Pakistan is not up to order, in my opinion. That is what has kept us behind. And until and unless, and this is what the theme of Commonwealth is, of how to uplift the norms, the values, but above all, the economic well-being of the citizenry of the world. And I said 1/3 of the total citizenship of the world lives in the Commonwealth, and maybe 2/3 of it lives in South Asia itself. About 1,600 million people live in South Asia of the 2.4 billion, 2,400 million. So we are the people who will be the future drivers of Commonwealth, because the United Kingdom has gone through Brexit. It had a referendum on Scotland wanting to leave. I'm not saying it will, but those are the fragmented elements of every society. That is, Quebec twice called for a referendum within Canada when they wanted to leave. So the geopolitical, geostrategic, geographical pulls of every country in the world are different, as we see in Spain today. One of their areas wants to go on its own. They've not had a referendum. But these are the kind of tendencies when people feel that they are not getting what they deserve as a norm, as a value, or a sense of nationalism, nationality within their systems. I think we in Pakistan have been fortunate that we have we have a federation, a functioning federation under the 1973 Constitution. We've gone through about 25, 26 amendments. However, the people of Pakistan, through very difficult and very trying times, have held up to the challenges, by and large, primarily because our bigger neighbor does not believe in peace, it does not believe in tranquility, it does not believe in equality, it does not believe in normal relationships as most nation states should do. Because when you become prejudiced, when you become biased, and these are not my words, these are the words of the United Nations Secretary General who was recently in Pakistan. He said Pakistan has been treated unfairly with the effect that much of the world has looked upon Pakistan in an unfair, biased and prejudiced way. These are exactly the words he used. And he's a very able, a man who was 6 years Prime Minister of Portugal, 18 years member of their parliament. He was head of the United Nations refugee system. So here was a man with a larger level of understanding of the world canvas, of the global canvas, and he understood, I think, the larger picture. And having visited Pakistan continuously since 2005, which was the year when the Kashmiris unfortunately lost nearly 70,000 people in that big earthquake, he said, I've kept on coming into Pakistan, and the kind of hospitality that you have shown to the refugees coming in from your neighborhood, I said, no other country perhaps has shown that kind of graciousness, hospitality, and welcome that the people of Pakistan has had. These are the positives that the Pakistanis have in the past. We, as responsible, dutiful members of the Commonwealth, I'm sure, will play a very mature and a positive role, a constructive role in giving whatever goodwill we have. Thank you very much.
On Kashmir, Mahtarama Shandana Gulzar, the Honourable Chairperson of the Commonwealth Women Parliamentarians, and it's my honour and the Executive Director PIPS and the Honourable Special Secretary, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. I guess I am the stopgap of the arrangement because the Speaker is going to join us very shortly. But I also hold this distinct pleasure that I have served the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association's Asian Fraternity for good 3 years as the Regional Secretary. The assignment that I took in Dhaka in 2017 and which I relinquished this year. In all these years, I have been part of the Commonwealth Fraternity, and I mean, it has been a remarkable experience to talk about Commonwealth, which gives so enriching experiences because of its diversity, but at the same time, there is a kind of unique unity in this diversity. Career as the Regional Secretary of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, what I found was that there is so much to learn from the Kenyan experience of parliamentary democracy to the South African model of presidential democracy, to the Australian model, where something which is very interesting, and I was sharing it with the Honourable Speaker once as well, that there is a very interesting tradition of dragging the Speaker into the chair. When the new Speaker is elected in the House of Representatives, somehow or the other, he tends to refuse to take the seat. And all the House, from the Treasury and from the opposition, they literally drag him into the chair. And that's what they call dragging into the chair. So there are lots of very interesting experiences which show how this parliamentary democracy has actually evolved. And this is our common value in the Commonwealth, which enables us to strengthen our systems, which enables us in this world of lots of challenges into a common thread of.
I must say that under the visionary leadership of Honourable Speaker, we are able to host 5th CPA Asia Regional Diplomatic Approach that Pakistan have the chair for CWP. Now his Look Africa policy is also illuminating ideas. An idol of experience and in a round of applause for His Excellency, Mr.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ms. Shandana Gulzar, MNA, Chairperson CWP, and respected Fakhar Imam Saab, ex-Speaker, National Assembly, Excellencies, conveners of Pakistan Friendship Groups, of Commonwealth countries, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and very good morning to all of you. It gives me immense pleasure to be part of today's celebration of the Commonwealth Day. As we mark 71 years of the London Declaration, the democratic values collectively shared by 54 member states and is a testament of thread which hold us together. The theme of this year is representative of the collective future of the Commonwealth status. The vision is to transform the world for the better by sharing our individual gains and build our common future. Distinguished guests, from coronavirus outbreak to melting glaciers of Antarctica, from rising Islamophobia to blatant violation of human rights, from building walls to mass migration. The world we live in possesses some serious and common challenges. Only enduring commitment to our shared values and principles can help us combat the challenges at hand. In this regard, the Commonwealth Fraternity can play a crucial role, and parliamentary diplomacy can be vital in realizing this vision for our peoples. As members of the Commonwealth family, we need synergetic efforts to end hunger and poverty, provide health and education, achieve sustainable development and women empowerment, and peace and security for the global citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, as I address this august gathering on this important day, I cannot help but invite your attention and the attention of international community, especially that of the Commonwealth Fraternity towards the Kashmir issue. Since August of last year, occupied Kashmir has been turned into an open-air prison where gross human rights violation and a crippling communication blockade has made the lives of locals miserable. No amount of bullying or constitutional deception can change the disputed status of occupied Kashmir. The recent killing of Muslim and vandalizing of mosques in Delhi by the Hindutva ideology followers should be a source of concern to international consensus. Nation of consensus amongst the Commonwealth family must educate and voice peaceful resolution of the India-occupied Kashmir issue from the CPA platform. Pakistan is desirous of a peaceful neighborhood. We heartily welcome the Afghan Peace Dialogue and hope that peace prevails for our Afghan brothers across the western borders. Distinguished guests, in the end, I must reiterate the significance of peace for development. Only meaningful cooperation can ensure inclusive economic empowerment for our particular women, youth, and marginalized communities. With this, I hope the Commonwealth nations are able to share the fruit of progress and prosperity by building upon informed parliamentary community. Thank you all. मैं इस मौके पे दो बातें और भी शेयर करना चाहता हूँ. इंशाअल्लाह ताला थर्सडे को हम एग्रीकल्चर के ऊपर एक डायलॉग ओपन करना चाहते हैं और हमारी ख्वाहिश ये है कि हम एक ऐसी पॉलिसी आइंदा जो हमारा पीएचडीपी बन रही है हम उसके ऊपर पूरा एक डिबेट करें. उसमें हमने मुख्तलिफ प्रोफेशनल्स को बुलाया है, एकेडमिशियंस को बुलाया है और यूनिवर्सिटी की जो एग्रीकल्चर यूनिवर्सिटीज़ हैं اس کے نمائندوں کو بلایا ہے، مختلف جو ایکسپرٹیز ہیں اس کو بلایا ہے. فخر امام صاحب جو ہے نا اس میں اور شاندانہ گلزار دونوں اس میں بہت اہم رول پلے کر رہی ہیں. تو ہم نے انشاءاللہ تعالیٰ یہ سیمینار بھی ارینج کیا ہے تاکہ ہم آئندہ کے لیے جو ہماری پی ایچ ڈی پی بن رہی ہے اس میں ہم پراپر ان پٹ ڈالیں پروفیشنلز کی، اور وہ پالیسی ہو جو فارمر کے لیے کچھ بینیفیشل ہو. اور میں یہ سمجھتا ہوں کہ یہ پہلی دفعہ پارلیمنٹ اپنے فارمر کی نمائندگی کریں گے اور فارمر کی حقوق کی انشاءاللہ تعالیٰ اس کو پروٹیکٹ کرے گی. مجھے بہت خوشی ہے کہ یہ دونوں جو یہاں اسٹیج پہ بیٹھے ہیں ان کی بہت بڑی کنٹریبیوشن ہے. اور دوسرا ہم انشاءاللہ 17 کو ایک اور ڈائلاگ کر رہے ہیں جس میں افغانستان کے حوالے سے، چونکہ ہم اس ریجن میں رہتے ہیں اور اس وار کی وجہ سے ہم بہت بری طرح متاثر رہے ہیں، کیونکہ وار آن ٹیرر نے ہمارے اکانومی کو جس طرح متاثر کیا ہے، جو ہماری سوشل لائف کو جس طرح متاثر کیا، جس نے ہماری دیگر جتنی بھی ہماری لائف کے مختلف آسپیکٹ کے مکمل طور پر ہماری پاکستان جو ہے سے بہت بری طرح متاثر ہوا ہے. ہم چاہتے ہیں، ہم سے اور کون زیادہ خوش ہو سکتا ہے کہ اس وقت جو افغانستان میں ڈیولپمنٹ ہو رہا ہے، پیس کی اور ایک ایگریمنٹس ہوا ہے، تو اس میں سب سے زیادہ خوشی پاکستانیوں کی ہے. اور ہم چاہتے ہیں، ہماری یہ خواہش ہے کہ افغان اپنے فیصلے خود کرے. ہمارا کام صرف یہ ہے کہ اس کے لیے فیسیلیٹیشن اگر درکار ہو، یہ افغان عوام کا حق ہے، ان کی رائٹ ہے، یہ ان سے یہ حق کوئی نہیں چھین سکتا کہ وہ اپنے فیصلے خود کرے. ہم صرف اتنا ایک سیمینار کرنا چاہتے ہیں کہ جو ایکسپرٹ گروپ ہے، جو اس کے اوپر جو ایکسپرٹی رکھتے ہیں، اس کو ہم ایک پلیٹ فارم پہ جمع کریں، ان کی آراء سنیں، اس کی تجاویز سنیں، اور فارن آفس کے ساتھ ہم وہ آراء شیئر کریں، تاکہ جو پہلا جو یہاں بھی ایک ایگریمنٹ ہوا تھا جب رشیا یہاں سے نکلا، اور اس کے بعد جو سچویشن پیدا ہوئی، ہمیں اس کا ڈر ہے کہ پھر ایک سول وار شروع ہو گئی. اور سول وار کی وجہ سے افغانستان جتنا بری طرح متاثر رہا، جتنا بری طرح ہمارا خطہ متاثر رہا، اور چونکہ ہمارے تو جس علاقے سے میں تعلق رکھتا ہوں تو ہم تو بہت ہی قریب ہیں اس علاقے سے، اور پھر ہمارے کچھ فیملیز اس سائڈ پہ، کچھ فیملی اس سائڈ پہ ہے، تو ہماری کنسرن اور بھی زیادہ ہے اس حوالے سے. تو ہم خواہش رکھتے ہیں کہ ہم ایک کنکریٹ ڈائلاگ کریں، ایک کنکریٹ ڈسکشن کریں. اس کے اوپر جو ہے نا ہم پارلیمنٹ کو، جو پارلیمنٹ کا اصل کام ہے کہ وہ ایشوز کے اوپر ڈسکشن کریں. یہ جو ہماری زیادہ سے زیادہ جو ہے نا ایک پولیٹیکل پوائنٹ سکورنگ ہو جاتی ہے، ٹھیک ہے ہوتا ہے پالیٹکس میں، اور خاص کر اسمبلی میں جو ہے پوائنٹ سکورنگ بھی ہوتی ہے، لیکن پوائنٹ سکورنگ کی زیادہ اب ضرورت اس بات کی ہے کہ ایشوز پہ بات ہو. ایشوز پہ مختلف لوگوں کی مختلف آراء ہوتی ہے، مختلف اپروچ ہوتی ہے، لیکن اس سے ایشو کو بھی پارٹیز کو بھی وہ اسٹرینتھن ہوتی ہے، اور ساتھ ساتھ ایشو بھی عوام کی بات بھی آ جاتی ہے. تو ایک تو میں انشاءاللہ تعالیٰ اس اجلاس میں ایگریکلچر پہ ڈبیٹ اوپن کرواؤں گا. آج ہماری ایڈوائزری میٹنگ ہے، میں اس میں انشاءاللہ اس پوائنٹ کو رکھوں گا، اور ہماری خواہش ہے کہ ہم ایگریکلچر پہ پورا ڈبیٹ کریں. اور اس طرح جو افغانستان کی ایشو ہے اور دیگر جو ایشوز ہیں، آئندہ میری کوشش ہوگی کہ جتنی بھی ایشوز ہوں گے اس کو میں ایجنڈا پہ رکھ کے باقاعدہ ڈسکشن کریں گے، تاکہ اس کے اوپر جو ہے نا ہماری پارلیمنٹرین بات کرے. میں بہت ایک دفعہ شکر گزار ہوں آپ کا. آپ کی جو سی پی اے ایک بہت بڑی اس کی بہت کنٹریبیوشن ہے جمہوریت کو پروان چڑھانے میں، جمہوریت کو اسٹرینتھن کرنے میں، اور جمہوریت کے لیے ان کی خدمات. اور میں خود بہت زیادہ مختلف ایونٹس میں سی پی اے میں شامل ہوتا رہا ہوں، اور مجھے خود خوشی بھی ہے کہ آج اس وقت پاکستان کی نمائندگی جو ہے نا ہماری پارلیمنٹ سے شاندانہ گلزار کر رہی ہے، جو اس بات کے ماضی ہے کہ ہم سی پی اے میں کتنا اپنا برخوردار کریں گے. تھینک یو.